So this practice this morning, this practice is called dissolve. So this idea that I've been teaching a lot around our heart of late, and this electromagnetic field that is created from our heart. So there's a lot of research around that, you know, the heart is our center of being. Of course, the ancient yogis have known that for a long time. And this heart, the intelligence of this heart, which gives a lot more information to the brain, also creates this field that is around us. So I like to think of it like a translucent cell membrane that surrounds us. And just like any cell in our body, this electromagnetic cell field is bidirectional. So not only is it taking in information, it's also giving out. So we know when we tap into our heart, we create this heart coherence, we send that out into the world, which obviously we need a lot of that. But also we're receiving, and we know this, right? I'm sure a lot of us at the moment, you know, we're jumping online, checking what's happening in the world. And so it's like this energetic, this information. So just as phones send information through their electromagnetic field, this is how we work as well. So we're sending information, and we're also receiving information in through this field, and through the cell membrane that starts about 3 feet in front of us into our own field. So it's like this, we're radiating our heart, or we're connecting with someone, or we're thinking of someone, right? And then that's going out through our field and right out to the other side of the world, just like we can send a photo to the other side of the world. And it's the same when we receive this information. And then what happens though, sometimes, right, when we're receiving information, and we're all receiving information all the time, and at the moment a lot of kind of heavy information, it can get stuck in this field around us, just like our cells can hold toxicity if we're not eating well. It's the same with this outer layer here, that it can hold a lot of density, and it can hold, you know, the energy attached behind that information that gets shared. It can hold that fear, it can hold all of that. So this practice this morning is about dissolving that. It's kind of like dissolving this, clearing this, finding our way with it, so that when we connect to the greater whole and send our prayers, and I know those of you who are here joining me this morning or are watching this at a future date, I know you're sending prayers to people that aren't as lucky as us. You know, we're super blessed in New Zealand, talking to people from around the world. We're so blessed. We're so blessed to be looked after the way that we're being looked after. We're so blessed to be in nature. So, you know, it's from this place, when we connect out and send our prayers, that I know you all are, that we can really do it with this sense of clarity, that we've cleared and cleansed, like having a shower, which some of you may have done this morning, some of you may have not. We're going to give ourselves an energy to cleanse and shower, so that we can radiate out from that place. So we're going to start towards the back of your mat, and we're going to start kneeling from here. So I hope you can hear me, guys. All right, I've sort of tried to source microphones, but the only ones I could find have to plug in, and that's not ideal when you're doing yoga. So I'm doing my best to hunt a microphone down. And I'll do my best just to project my voice. So we're going to start kneeling. And I invite you to bring your left hand onto your heart and your right hand on top. And we'll just take a moment to tune into this powerful, radiant center at our heart. As we connect into the breath a little bit more, we'll take some longer exhales. So we'll inhale for 3, in through the nose. And we'll exhale for 6, out through the nose. Inhaling. Exhale. As you exhale, really let the heart soften into the pillows of the lungs. One more like that, and inhaling for 3. And exhale, a softening. We're going to take 3 more rounds just like that, inhaling. Exhale, soften your toes, your feet, your legs, your lower limbs. Exhaling, letting the weightiness of your pelvic bowl soften into the heels. Exhale, letting the shoulders, the arms, your fingers soften a little more. So as we take a few more breaths here together, this heart softens and the whole body softens. This heart radiates, the whole body radiates. This heart intentionally clears and dissolves that heavy, dense energy we may be carrying. And the whole of this field clears. When we're ready, we're going to add some movement. So from here, palms to meet at the heart center in Anjali Mudra. On your inhale, rising up to stand tall on the knees, fingertips up, and then exhale like you're tracing the outer circumference of this field to the side as you bring your arms back and down all the way to the heart. Take 2 more like that. Inhale, rising up. And exhale, tracing the side circumference with the fingers, sitting bones melt back down into heels. One more like that. This brushing, this bringing into our mind this proprioception of art, the sides that surrounds us. I'm going to change up the arm positions a bit more as we inhale, rise. Let the right arm come back and spiral as we find the front and the back of our field. Kneeling down, hands to heart on the exhale. Inhale, rising, left arm sweeps back. Here, feeling the front and the back of that field, and sitting bones down to heels, to prayer, softening whole body. One more each side. Inhale, rising, brushing that energetic field. To the left, to the space above, 3 feet above, to the space below. One more, rising up, arms straight up, fingertips extend. Take a moment to breathe here and feel the edges of the space above, your field above, and imagining that that is as much below as it is above. From here, exhale, folding forward to Anahatasana, melting heart. Sitting bones stay high, and we're going to take a little scoop through here. A cobra as the crown of the head curls up and back, tracing the sphere around our body. Exhale, lowering. Have a listen. Take your hands wide. Tent your fingertips, bend your knees, and window wiper your legs to the left as you peel your gaze to the right. And then back to center. Legs window wiping to the right as you peel and gaze to the left. One more each side, these toes brushing, the head brushing, the sphere that surrounds us. Coming back to center, hands come in to frame the side of the body. Lifting up and back, we'll take our first downward dog of the morning. Bending your knees, rolling, rippling through your dog as you extend to plank, back and up. This circular motion that traces the space above in our field, the head reaches to the front of the field and the sitting bones to the back. Beautiful. Take one more like that. And we arrive in downward facing dog together. Taking a couple of breaths here, feeling this space. So imagining that you're in this cell that surrounds you, about 3 feet all around. Your whole body is softening and floating in this space of support. Bending your knees, walking your feet towards your hands, folding in, and then rippling up through your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring your hands back onto your heart space. Breathing here, tuning into the portal, the doorway of the heart, this generator that generates this field around us. We're going to move into our first sun salute variation. Bring your feet together, big toe mounds, inner heels, inner ankles together. And then we're going to start an Utkatasana. So we bend the knees, the hands stay at the heart, and this is similar to what we've just done. Inhale, rise, arms sweep up. They feel that circumference. They brush all the way down to the earth. And they inhale past the heart. Inhale, rising. Exhale, sweeping. One more like that. Inhale, rising, feeling that pearly, iridescent field around us. Inhale to the heart. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, ripple the spine long, Adha Uttanasana. Exhale, stepping back to downward facing dog. Bending your knees, step your right foot in between your heels, dropping your back knee. We'll take a moment to pause here to collectively gather. And then from here, inhale, rise the arms, right arm sweeps back. As we brush and clear, you can imagine your fingertips brushing, clearing your field as you paint and clear and breathe. Rising the arms up, hands frame the front foot, step up and back to three-legged dog. The right toe reaches out to that space behind brushing. As it lowers down to the earth, we ripple forward. Nice. Lowering to our first chaturanga of the morning. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take 3 breaths here in our downward facing dog. Coming back to take a moment to that long exhale. And the breath that purifies and clarifies, right, the toxicity of the cells. And this movement throughout this practice this morning, where our movement clears and purifies the field cell that surrounds us. From here, bending your knees, step your left foot in between your hands, dropping the back heel. On your next inhale, rise your arms up, feel that field above you, left arm reaches back, tracing around you, all the way to the bottom to rise. It's a sphere, it's around you, this space. Hands frame the front foot, stepping the left foot up and back as it paints and brushes the cobwebs, the tendrils of fear, of uncertainty. We ripple forward to chaturanga, upward facing dog, crown of the head curls and follows the shape of the sphere, downward facing dog. Breathing here as we soften. And then we're going to bend our knees, step, jump, walk our feet to our hands, folding in. As you inhale, rise, hands to reach the space above. And then exhale, back to prayer, hands to the heart, big toe mounds, inner ankles together as you bend deep into Utkatasana. We're simply going to repeat, inhale, rise, brushing and clearing. Inhale, rise, brushing and clearing. And you can be creative with the arm space here, right? If you're feeling like you need to reach front and back, you can do that. So let's take one more to allow that creativity to come in. You'll be able to feel, possibly now, this field and where you need to clean, to brush. Folding forward, inhale, ripple, long spine. Exhale, stepping back, downward dog. We bend our knees, we step our right foot in between our hands, drop our back knee. Inhale, rising, brushing, clearing, like you're brushing the cobwebs, these tendrils. Right leg rises. These energies of other people, places that we inadvertently and unknowingly, vinyasa, chaturanga, up dog, pick up along the way. Bending the knees, will come straight into the left side, left foot forward, right knee back. Left arm spirals. And we clear, we brush. And these arm movements, you can be creative with them now. And the beauty of practicing right online is that you can get really creative. So listening to that, the left toe reaches up and back and brushes the space behind you. Rippling forward, taking that vinyasa. This rinse through, right? Vinyasa is to rinse. And can you be rinsing your field as much as your mind and your physical body? Downward facing dog, we'll take 3 breaths here. And as you breathe here, feeling this whole body as though it's suspended in this field. And as you breathe, you may be able to still feel where the field is not as clear, the cell field of you that radiates from your heart is not as clear yet. And just be mindful of that. Where else are we ready to clear and dissolve so that the whole of this field can be clear, bright, pearly, iridescent light filling our cell body. Bending your knees, walk your feet to your hands. Folding in. Inhale, rippling, rising. And then bring the hands back to this heart space. So we're going to move on to our next flow. There's going to be more opportunity for this creativity in the arms. And I really encourage you, those of you who practice with me regularly, know that I encourage you to really drop into that and just allow yourself to feel, where do I still need to clear? Where do I still need to cleanse? So from here, when you're ready, we inhale from hands to heart to rise, to surround the field, to fold, to ripple along spine. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches and brushes through that sphere. Exhale, right knee to right armpit, tigress. It comes across to the left and spirals up and back to three-legged dog and even maybe opens to scorpion dog. Take two more like that. So we're using the leg and the toe like brush strokes, like calligraphy to paint and clear the space underneath us. And then from here, letting the right foot land in between the hands. And this time you're going to drop the back heel and come into side angle, right elbow to right knee, left arm up and over. And you spiral the arm around, left arm spiraling. Taking these sweeps, feeling, where is it? Where is there still some density? And often, you might not be able to feel it, but it's memories. Memories will bubble up and arise over the last few days, week, as we've dived into this experience together. If you want to take a bind, you can reach that left arm around behind and take that bind. Breathing. And this agency and this power that we have within us to let go. As the memories bubble, left arm releases and reaches. Have a listen. You're going to spiral down and around. You come to wide leg pose, but we're going to keep sweeping. The right arm sweeps up and around as you follow the sphere. Spiral all the way over, left arm up and over. Spiral around. So memories, often as they bubble, they still have an energetic attachment. If they're arising, we use these movements. It's like that clearing, breathing. Front, back, side. Around this time now, come all the way to the back of your mat. Left toes turn out. Yeah, as we breathe and we pulse here, let the pelvis drop down so we're really opening into that, the front of the right hip. And we'll straighten the left leg as we come into pyramid pose. Bending the left knee. And straightening. So if you've ended up facing away from me, you'll just have to use your ears, that sense, and you may even be able to feel, if you listen through the back space of your body and your field, you'll still be able to feel me, because we're simply in a moment going to repeat that flow. When you're ready, hands frame the front foot, left leg rises to three-legged dog. And then the left knee to the left elbow, it spirals up and around like a figure of eight, it sweeps. Straightens, two more, left knee to left elbow, spirals around and up and opens. So we're using the left foot to brush, to clear, to create. It's your field. How would you like to brush and clear it? Left foot lands in between the hands. Back heel drops, left elbow to left knee. Right arm rises, Parsvakonasana. Right arm reaches, spiral. And again, you can really allow this pace, this rhythm, this clarity as you brush and sweep. Those tendrils of fear, my children are going to come home to me. When is this going to end? You can take a bind if you take a bind. All of it. And various emotions that flood through. Release your bind if you're going to release your bind. And spiral around. Reaching up to the left. So wide leg pose, and then the spiraling the arms space around. Take one more as you brush, as you breathe, as you spiral, as you clear. Walking around so the right toes are facing to the front of your mat now, back heel lifts. Bring your hands on the inside, let that left pelvic half drop down. And then exhale, straighten the right leg to pyramid pose. And then take a couple of those bending, crown of the head reaches to that field space in front as the back heel reaches to the field space behind. As we spiral up and back, it's a sphere. It's all around us. We're floating, we're breathing, we're bi-directional, radiating. And then from here, bending the right knee, hands down, right leg up and back to that three-legged dog as it brushes. As you ripple and take your vinyasa, this sphere, this curve that we're breathing, clearing, letting go. 3 breaths in your downward dog. Each breath like a letting go. Each movement a clearing and a cleansing. So that this whole field is this pulsing, radiant, scintillating cell of life. Coherent and clear as we move out and send our prayers into the world. We're going to repeat that flow one more time. We'll bend our knees and we'll step, jump, walk our feet to our hands, folding in, rippling up, reaching, sweeping arms, clearing, and then hands to the heart, left hand on the heart, right hand on top. We're going to start with this Utkatasana, so you bend your knees, you sit deep. And then you inhale, spiral, clear. You can be creative. We're going to take 3 more of those. And if you want to challenge yourself from an asana perspective, so you can either be sweeping or brushing, or you can take a bakasana for a couple of breaths while others are sweeping and brushing in the space. And then when you're ready, everybody, we make our way to downward facing dog. Those of you who are in Bakasana, maybe you want to jump through your vinyasa, or just meeting us, everybody, in downward dog. Right leg rises to 3-legged dog. And then taking that spiral, that brushing, that calligraphy, you can take your legs out wide. Get creative with this field that you're brushing and clearing. Right leg lands, opening, circling those tendrils. They're like cobwebs, People don't mean to, but when they send you information, there can be those tendrils unless we take that intentional time to rinse ourselves and create that space. If you're going to bind, take bind. Unwinding, feet to parallel, brushing. Star shape. If you want to add in Skandasana, you can add in Skandasana and just come a little bit bigger in these movements, side to side. One more. And we spiral all the way around to the back of your mat, left. Hands frame the left foot. And then have a listen, bring your hands on the inside and then pulse at the right pelvic calf, drop down. And then coming back to pyramid pose. Bending left knee and coming back to pyramid pose. And then those of you who have it in your practice, so you can either keep pulsing here, or those of you who have it in your practice, bend, have the hands by the left heel, bend the elbows, let the left knee take flight to the side, right leg spirals behind. Everybody reaching up and back, left leg rises to three-legged dog. We'll take a vinyasa here. Vinyasas are, those of you who practice with me regularly know that they're always optional. So child's pose, you rest whenever you need to rest, whatever you need to do. Left leg rises to three-legged dog. And take these creative spirals. You can also be doing these on hands and knees if you're feeling tired. Hands and knees. Or spiraling. Left foot lands between the hands. Side angle. Pajvakonasana. Clearing. Brushing. You can get creative. You know where you're going. And as we clear and brush, you can take a bind if you're going to take bind. A pause, we'll meet here, either bound or just hand behind, or continue to brush with your fingertip. As we take a moment to gather our energy together here. And now as we continue to brush and clear, I want you to imagine that you can paint your field with a color. So color is just a vibration, right? Nothing actually has a color. It's when the light hits it, and depending on the vibration of that plant, or this color of my top, it vibrates back to you, peach. So it's vibrating out to you in that bidirectional. So as we release our bind, we spiral. You may want to take a moment to pause in this wide leg pose to stretch out that left leg. And then as you spiral and sweep, what color do you want to fill your field with? That's the color that you may want to radiate out today. What color do you want to radiate and sweep? Ready, back around to the front. Bending the right knee, hands on the inside so you can really let that left pelvic calf drop. Pulsing between the two. And again, you can add in arms, you can add in movement. If you want to take flight, then the hands come in by the right heel, shoulder width apart, the right elbow is hooked underneath the right knee, drop the left pelvic half down and float. And then when we're ready, we all meet in three-legged dog with the right leg up and back. And down. You can take your final vinyasa. And then we're all going to meet on our hands and knees. And sitting bones back to heels. Bring your hands, left hand onto heart, right hand on top. Breathing here. I'm going to shift into the middle of my mat and come to facing you. You can be my guest and do the same. Or you can stay where you are. And we settle back into this heart space. With each exhale, softening the heart and the whole body. Just feeling, is there any last tendrils of cobwebs? Is there any more painting of colours that you wish to share? As we come into this final offering of movement, coming forward onto your hands and knees, I'll be your mirror image, so the right leg sweeps forward. Let's take a moment just to settle here. We'll take some cat-cows. And then on your next inhale, let your right hand ground down, your left arm sweeps up. It reaches and paints the sphere, brushes and clears and cleanses the sphere. Left arm reaches down and through. Take a moment to breathe here. Just because we're not moving, we stay connected to this circumferential sphere. We can clear it with our mind, we can paint it with our mind. When you're ready, inhale, rising, left arm reaches up. It's going to spiral down. Have a listen, tuck your right toes. Coming down and around, let your right hand sweep back to your right ankle and reach up. Ardha Uttanasana variation. Let the heart radiate. Exhale, releasing down. And coming back to hands and knees. To ripple up, to kneeling, to hands to heart. To breathing, to rising up. These brushings, and again, you can be forward, you can be back. You can rise and lower, or you can just stay up. Take two more like this. And when you're ready, we meet on hands and knees with the left leg out to the side. Cat-cows as you ripple. This internal space that is cleared through asana, through pranayama, through mantra, through prayer, these tools that we have as practitioners of yoga. The left hand anchors as the right fingertips brush up. And like you're painting a canvas as you let your right arm fold through. The left arm can circle out in front and maybe even spiral behind. As we prepare to unwind, right hand reaches up, left toes tuck. spiraling around, left hand to left ankle, rising heart. Releasing down. Right foot in. Coming back to your knees, to kneeling. Coming back to this heart space, softening. And just bring your hands out to the side, palms up, tasting the space. Any last offerings of clearing, of cleansing, of painting, you can take them now. The beauty of practicing in the comfort of your own lounge is you can really dive into the exploration. As you feel the physical body of you floating in the spherical space of your energetic fields. Hands back to the heart. If you need to sit on support, you can take support. As we breathe here together, breathe here together. With this knowing that this moment in time, this pivotal moment in time, that we are collectively creating history and breathing in the new future. What is it within us? Not out there. What is it within us that needs to be cleared? That needs to be cleared and cleansed so that we can radiate and serve the greater whole from that place. So this collection of souls that have been practicing through cyberspace with you this morning, and I can feel you and you can probably feel one another. Let us imagine these clear, vibrant, pearly, iridescent fields that are maybe filled and painted with the color of your choice. Let that expand out, sending our prayers of love, sending this message of beneath the fear, this clarity of hope. See yourself expanding out, your field getting bigger and bigger, us as a group, our fields getting bigger and bigger, filling the whole of our countries, wherever we are in the world. From the mountain tops to the rivers, to the whole earth. You're floating in this vast, expanded bubble together. We're radiating that out. And the earth, just like us, is a cell. In between the denseness of her body bones and the edges of her fields, we can feel there's a lot of collective fear in that suit. In some regards, rightly so. But can we take a moment to expand our fields to help her clear her field together? You don't have to do anything, just by breathing and radiating your field into her field. It helps soften and clear it. And then we come back into our physical body, back into the space that you're in, back into the physical body, the boundary of you. I'm going to leave you now. I did say these classes are 45 minutes, so if you wish to rest in Shavasana for the last few moments on your own, maybe you wish to journal, write down your experience, anything that you felt come up for you that you know you were holding on to, this incredible global Shavasana, this opportunity for us all to go within. And then those of you who are wanting to practice with me, remembering every morning this week, we'll keep diving in, we'll keep building on these ideas of how to clear and cleanse our body, our energy, our mind, release beliefs, call in a more soft, feminine way of being for a deeper regenerative and creative humanity. Thank you for joining me. Take your time in your Shavasana. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, everybody. Please send your comments, anything that worked or didn't work or that you found challenging. I would love to hear it. I'm learning a lot about this process. Much love to you all.